Good evening, everybody. Hey, this is Tom, and we are ready to play some Werewolf the Apocalypse here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. Tonight, we have a new cast member. You guys know Q. He is going to be joining our pack. So let's go ahead and have him introduce himself, where you can find him if he wants to be found, and he'll be playing.
All right, hey everybody, I'm Q, playing Skids. That's of course a nickname. His actual name is this is his last name. I forgot.
It's on your character sheet.
Anderson, right? Nguyeji Anderson. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Hamid of mixed race, Caucasian African. His father was American. His mother was from somewhere in North Africa. I forget where. I don't know if I even wrote it down. Naturalized came the thing. He's an orphan though. You won't be meeting them, at least not in this world. Been an orphan for a while, in and out of the dissonance, in and out of the system in Rhode Island, and a few months ago got fed up with it all, never being able really to fit in. And he hit the road and has been walking west ever since. If you want to find me online, you can find me in my link tree there. It's easy. But I'm pretty much Q Hudspeth on any of the social thingies that I'm on. So, I think I even still have a Twitter account. I still call it Twitter. It's been that long. I'm on Blue Sky now, and Dice Camp on Mastodon, and Facebook, and this, that, and the other. So it's mostly all there in the link tree if you really want to try to find me. So let's get started. I'm nervous a little bit. This is my first Werewolf game, only my second World of Darkness game, but the vampire game that we did with Diver and Marissa went very well. So when the chance came up to jump into Controlled Burn, I was like, sure, I'll throw in as a party member. We'll give it a shot.
We are glad to have you. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be starting off in kind of a chilly evening in March, and we find ourselves in rural Oklahoma. That wasn't hard for me to say. Skids has managed to find a place along the road called Dustin's Roadhouse. Earlier in the day, while cleaning up at a gas station, he found on the ground an old Visa gift card, and managed to. Does he have a cell phone?
Does he have a cell phone? Yeah, he's got to have a burner that he tops off when he can, but he uses it sparingly because he doesn't have a steady influx of cash to retop it. So he probably saves it for emergencies and stuff. He doesn't sit around and waste data on stupid mobile games or things like that. He misses it though because he used to. Yeah. He actually had foster parents who paid for Wi-Fi and shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, when he found this gift card, he looked online, checked the balance, and found there's still $15 on it.
Woo!
So he wisely saved it, and when he came across Dustin's Roadhouse, kind of a big suburban kind of restaurant. You see them all over the place. This one probably isn't a corporate chain, but he finds himself in here. It's a nice warm place to sit. He can't sit at the bar. They kind of give him a look like, nah, you can go over into that section.
He is obviously not 21.
So kind of how is he dressed right now at the moment?
Oh, he's wearing like tattered jeans, some work boots. He's got a ratty, just cheap Walmart T-shirt, that you can get from the $6 rack. Mm-hmm. He's got a rucksack He's probably got a jacket tucked in there somewhere, but he hasn't pulled it out yet because it is, March. It's just starting to get chilly as the sun goes down. So he's, manning up. But he's a skinny little dude. He's like 6'6", and just like, skinny.
So they direct him to the one kind of table section that's still open. There's a girl named Ruby, is his waitress. She doesn't. First, she kind of seems kind of like, who is this kid? She kind of has this look on her face like, should we be checking to see if there's an Amber Alert for this kid? What? And they've got burgers, chicken, whatever. Remembering he's only got $15. How much does he want to spend of that $15?
He wants to spend all of it.
I don't want to assume he does. So.
It's good, yeah, but it's like, but he's got to remember to leave room for a tip. So he's probably gonna $10 would be his limit. So like water and whatever the $9.99 meal is.
Yeah, there's a basic cheeseburger, fries, that kind of thing. So he orders that. He's kind of looking around. The bar is still pretty full. Even though it's maybe like a Wednesday night or something, there's still a lot of people up at the bar, and he's probably sitting only about 10 feet from the bar, because really they've only got maybe like one or two servers and the bartender. So
right.
A couple old guys at the bar, and they're kind of looking over at him. They kind of look over once, kind of talk to themselves, kind of look over again. There's some college basketball game on TV or something. So he's probably used to at this point, probably getting some looks. A kid on his own. But how does he feel about that?
Oh, he's resigned to it at this point. I mean, he's always looked different, because he's got African American features, but he's got paler skin, lots of freckles. So he, has gotten odd looks, everywhere. So he's used to people just kind of, glancing and doing a double take, like you do. Hell, he even catches himself in the mirror sometimes, and does a double take. Especially, since the growth spurt, when he really shot up. So he's not like offended by it or anything. Just like, okay, hopefully these guys don't give me any crap.
Yeah. And one of the guys, he's kind of a long white beard, kind of gets off his stool. He's kind of like, ugh, and he kind of comes wandering over, and he's like, kid, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, sir. How you doing?
Doing good. You ain't hitching, are you?
Hitching, walking, hiding, whatever I can. Just moseying west.
One of the other guys at the bar kind of calls over and he goes, better watch out for Bigfoot. He's always out there snatching up hitchhikers. And of course the old guys all start chuckling.
And I'll chuckle right along. Yep, I'll keep an eye out for him. I got my camera ready.
The old guy kind of reaches into his pocket. He's got his wallet. He slides like a 20, and he's like, I was on the road a lot when I was a kid. And I wish somebody had been able to help me.
Oh, man, you sure about that?
Yeah, it's all good, son. Just take care of yourself.
I will. Now I got a good tip for Ruby here.
He's like, Ruby. He's like, I don't know if she's worth the tip. And that's when she comes over carrying the food. And she's like, oh, shut up, Jethro. And he's like, my name ain't Jethro. And they all start chuckling about some joke.
Oh, wait, your mic just went off when you whacked it. No.
Can't hear me?
There now. Okay.
Okay.
A little loose, I guess.
I got We got the flying hands here. You're not quite sure what the reference to Jethro is. You're a little young, but they all seem to get the joke. Ruby slides and you notice you got a lot of fries. You don't know if this place just normally gives a lot of fries, but they put a lot of fries on there. And she slides over some ketchup. Whatever you need. Let me know if you need anything. And she just kind of wanders away.
Thanks. Dig in, and it'll be gone in like 15 minutes.
Okay. As he's eating, you have sitting on the table, the old school things of sugar. They were in like the glass with the silver container. Give me, while you're eating, we're gonna make our first roll of the evening. Right. Give me an alertness and wits roll.
Okay. Difficulty 6?
Difficulty 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Ooh, okay. All right. While he's eating, he's just kind of glancing around. He happens to glance at that sugar jar. And in the reflection, he could swear he saw 2 eyes looking back at him. Just a kind of a quick glance. He's like, God, there's 2 eyes in there, but if you look away and you look back, you don't see anything.
They're gone. Look close, and it's not like, it's my own reflection. It was
and if anything, your reflection is probably kind of blurry in this thing, but it was sharp as a sharp. I mean, it was two eyes looking back at you.
You like rotate the sugar away from you.
Okay.
Of course, it's round, so it doesn't matter.
The rest of the meal goes by pretty carefully, or pretty regular. I mean, once he gets ready to finish, it's probably closer to 10 at this point. The bar is going to stay open, but Ruby says, "I really can't be in here after 10 with the bar. I'm sorry, you probably got to go."
No, that's fine. I was about ready to move on anyway. Okay. You wouldn't happen to know if there's a spot out back that's kind of sheltered that I could slip into for the night?
She's like, I don't really want us letting people sleep in the back. I mean,
I meant like outside behind the building, not like
no,
in the back.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I know. I mean, she's like, I guess if nobody saw you go back there, and I gotta go help the bartender, and she kind of just strolls away.
Nice meeting you.
Yep.
Leave a good $5 tip and slip on out, or just leave the rest of leave the Visa card.
Okay. She's like,
there won't be $5 after taxes, but you know.
Yeah. She's like, oh, thank you, kid. So he's ready to leave. It's when he gets to the door, it looks like it's just starting to drizzle.
Oh crap! All right, I'll pull the jacket out of the backpack and kind of like throw it on. Okay. Maybe pull it over my head if it's kind of drizzly, and then kind of try to slip around to the back of the building and just to see if there's a shelter.
Okay. Not really. I mean, there's kind of a small overhang from the back of the restaurant. There's pretty much just like the little area where they hide the dumpster. They think nobody knows there's a dumpster in there, but they put up a fence anyway. Gets back there. He gets back there. Now, he's smelled dumpsters before, but he gets back. It's almost like it's like this overpowering smell. I mean, as he gets towards, he's just like everything in that dumpster. All of a sudden, he could smell it, like things rotting on the bottom. Maybe some meat in there, some burgers that might have been thrown out. But he's just all of a sudden just like like, what is this smell?
What have they been cooking? What did I just eat?
Exactly.
Well, then I'm going to get away from that stank. What's
Okay.
the land look right
It
here?
is really, there are some woods on either side of the road. Not very heavy woods. Looks like some of it's been kind of thinned out over the years. But he knows if he pretty much he was heading west. He'd just gotten into Oklahoma, maybe in the morning, so he hasn't really gone real far.
Mm-hmm.
But the road ahead is pretty barren.
All right. Well, I guess I'll head off into the trees and see if I can't get a little bit of shelter from the rain.
Okay. Rain starts to pick up just a little bit, and that's when he hears a siren going, like a police car.
All right.
And kind of. So as he's kind of like crossing the road and heading towards the woods, that's when he hears a siren from behind him.
Gotcha. Well, it can't be for me because I haven't done anything, so I'll just keep walking.
Okay. You kind of catch out of the corner of your eye that this cop car is kind of sliding up, and stops, and then you hear a "Hey, you! Stop!"
Oh. Turn around, like.
Okay.
Oh.
Kind of a tall, thin officer.
Gotcha.
Has a raincoat on, and he's like,
"Come here." Walk back towards him.
Yeah.
Evening, officer. How's it going?
Good. You got any ID on you?
Nope. Sorry.
What do you mean you don't got any ID?
I don't drive, and I never got an ID.
He's like, what's your name?
Skids. You can call me Skids.
No, I mean your real name.
Oh, right. Ngueji Anderson.
He's like, notepad. He's like, spell that?
Sure. Yeah. N-W-E-J-I.
Okay.
Anderson, like the windows.
He's like, okay, I got that part. And he's like, where are you heading? You heading into the woods?
Yeah. Let's kind of get out of the rain for a bit, see if it stopped.
Yeah. He's like, I'd be careful about those woods. I mean, there's been a lot of bad folks around here, I'll be honest with you.
You got any better suggestions for?
I mean, there might be shelters for kids. Not in this town though. So I can take you to the station if you want, but if you don't got any ID, it could get complicated.
Yeah. Kind of got an idea of what you mean there. Yeah.
He's like, let me just tell you, there's lots of kids go missing. And you just keep your eyes out, all right?
I will. Thank you.
He's like, all right, and Ngueji, was it?
Ngueji, yeah.
Ngueji, sorry. He's like,
seriously, you can call me Skids.
All right, Skids. All right, I'm not going to report this right now, but you just be careful, all right?
Thank you, Officer.
Officer Kowalski. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I'll keep an eye out. Try to stay away from anybody that that isn't in a restaurant or a gas station or something. Yeah, someplace public. I won't. Really, seriously, having a lot of people going missing around here.
Yeah. It's not something we're real proud of, but kids who have been hitching, even some local kids, they're finding, well, I don't want to put any thoughts in your head. I think you get the picture.
Yeah, man, that's sus. All right, I will head out of town as quickly as possible, and I will also spread the word.
Okay.
To anyone else who's sleeping rough.
All right. So when you see he's kind of giving you a break, you kind of get the feeling like, okay, yep, probably ought to get moving.
So, well, I was thinking of taking him up on the offer to go to the station after that, but then it was like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. He. You realize he cut you a break. So,
Yeah.
um,
I could punch you if you want to put me in the lockup for the night, you know.
You don't say that, do you?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say. All right.
He offered automatically. I didn't have to.
All right. So he pulls away. Rain's just starting to get a little heavier, and then as you kind of turn to head back towards the woods, it just starts getting a lot quieter.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Everything is just rain.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, as you get further from the road, the trees start getting a little more dense. Most of them don't have any leaves on them because I mean it's still March. I mean, so there's not a ton of cover. But let's have you see if you can find a way to find something. Because there's one skill you have called survival.
Yeah.
Let's just have you do a survival and intelligence roll.
Okey-doke. Because
maybe this has happened to him before.
Yeah, I mean, he has been on the road like this for months. 3 successes.
3 successes, yeah. He might in his backpack maybe have like a small tarp of some sort that he was able to find. He's able to maybe find some decent dry wood that maybe he could make kind of a small lean-to, kind of something to just kind of protect him from the rain.
Just keeps the direct rain off. Yeah,
exactly. So he's a smart kid that way. So he kind of makes this kind of lean-to and probably finds himself just kind of sitting underneath it and just kind of listening to the rain.
Yeah. Wondering what Nuts is up to. There's a squirrel that keeps popping up.
Is there?
I swear it's the same squirrel. I don't see how it can be though.
Let's have him look around for Nuts. Wits and investigation.
Investigation. Wits.
Okay. Hey, nice. Okay. Yep. So he hears about 5 feet away from him. He hears the sound of squirrel squeaking or something. There's something peering over. Yeah, there's this distinctive looking squirrel. He has kind of a gray streak down side of his face. Almost looks like a scar. And he's not quite Scrat from Ice Age, but he's pretty thin though.
I saved like 2 or 3 French fries just in case, because I said this damn squirrel just keeps popping up, and I don't. I'm actually starting to question my sanity a little bit because I can't. How can it can't be the same squirrel? I mean, I've gotten in trucks and ridden for half a day, and then later that night there's Nuts.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. And he kind of drops the nut, and he's like,
toss him a couple French fries. I saved these for you.
And he kind of comes running over, grabs one, eats it real fast, and kind of looks up at you, cocks his head. Like you almost get the feeling like maybe he's saying thank you.
All right. Well, I know he doesn't like to be fussed with, so I'll just kind of like pat the ground under the tarp and look off into the night.
And that's
don't make eye contact.
And he kind of goes, like he's like almost like he heard something, and he kind of is just kind of looking up.
All right. Well, I will follow his gaze.
Okay. You don't see anything right away, but let's have you make a perception and investigation roll.
Where is perception?
Uh,
Oh wait,
it is.
investigation is what I have to click. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Investigation and perception. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to remember to tell you in the right order because that's the way you click them. So
Yep.
we always have this discussion while we play. So
Did it roll?
yes. Don't.
Investigation. There you
go. Okay. You want to roll perception and investigation because it looks like.
Oh, okay. So then it didn't roll.
Oh, you know what you did? I don't think it did. No. Try it again. Just try your investigation and perception.
Oh, you know what? I clicked close instead of roll.
Oh.
There's 2 buttons right next to each other. Big. One says close. One says roll. It's quite obvious. But I failed my perception check to notice.
as you kind of have to stick your head out a little bit, and you're looking through the dark, and you're like, what the hell is he looking at? And that's when Nutty kind of takes off running, and you glance up, and you're like, way up. You're like, is that an owl?
Oh yeah, you better hightail it there, Nuts.
There's a brown owl just kind of looking down at you.
Actually, scooch up next to me. It won't get you if you're close to me.
No, he took off.
Yeah. I turn around. It's like, oh yeah, of course. And I'll go, woo woo.
It just kind of spins his head like,
yeah,
like.
All right. Sorry.
And after a moment or two, it flaps its wings and flies away. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit too noisy. I'm sure I scared off all the small beasts.
All right. Well, Nutty has run away, and you are left alone to sit in the rain for a little while.
Sounds great. I guess I'll doze off.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say he kind of relaxes, falls asleep, and then he doesn't quite know how much later, but he kind of just jerks himself awake, and he's looking around, and the rain has stopped.
Good.
And then you think you hear like a crunching noise, almost like the sound of leaves if someone was walking on them.
All right. Well, I'm gonna I imagine I'm sitting up against a tree where we've got something like
yeah,
legs out flat and like up against the tree as tight as possible, and then try to peek around where the sound came from.
You think it came to your left, and then when you hear one to your right.
Oh Lord, does it sound like there's 2 different sources, or that it shifted?
Yeah. Let's have you make a roll. Let's go with. I would think this would be more related to survival, because he's fallen asleep on his own in places, and had to kind of deal with God knows what. Mm-hmm. So let's go with survival and wits.
Okay.
Nice. Four successes. All right. Eric wishes he had these rolls.
Right. I'm panicking. I was like, all right, we're going to use up all the good rolls at the
beginning. It sounded like not necessarily different footsteps, but maybe the same one. Like maybe there was somebody or something moving very fast.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to reach out my right hand to kind of scrabble up a rock or something relatively heavy.
Yeah.
And then fling it off, into the woods to the left, farther away to make a noise. Mm-hmm. Hopefully attract them away from me.
And you hear it. You hear your rock go land somewhere in the darkness. And there's nothing.
Nothing. All right. Maybe it was just a deer.
Till you hear something on your right again, but slightly closer.
Slightly closer. Great. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm thinking it may not be an animal, or at least it's a shit. Oh God, what would Nuts do? Nuts would run. Mm.
Resisting the urge to say, "You grab your nuts." And so,
um, yeah, I still don't know if it's spotted me yet. So I'm gonna try to hold still again and see if it gets any closer.
you hear a noise now more behind you, almost like the movements are almost kind of in a semicircle behind you. So the first you heard was like the left, then the right, you heard right again, and now kind of in that semicircle behind you. Like you have the tree behind you, but you know,
yeah,
the general area behind you.
Oh man, starting to freak out a little bit. All right, on the assumption that it is probably some sort of animal, I'm gonna kind of try to stand up quietly, but then I want to like jump out on the other side of the tree and just go blah, and like scare it off.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna make you roll for blah, but you jump out.
Really loud, louder than I wanted to blow out the mic here. But
you jump out. You step into some wet leaves, and you're looking around. And then you hear like what sounds like this like scratching noise. Like, and it would be now like the way you're facing, maybe 20 yards in the dark. You hear this like scratching noise.
Shit. All right, I'm just going to grab my knapsack. I'm leaving the tarp, and I'm going to start walking quickly, but not running.
Okay.
Directly as directly away from this noise as possible, back toward the road.
They should have told you in the roadhouse to stay off the moors, but you got the reference.
Look us out.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. You start walking, and that's where you hear the sound of something moving through the leaves behind you. Like you hear that same sound. Almost sounds like something stepping.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna turn around and walk backwards, but still in the direction of the road, trying to see it.
You don't see anything. Your heart's starting to race faster.
Yeah. Fucking ghosts. Are there any cars coming? Are there any lights on the road?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna stay walking calmly towards the road, and as soon as I hit the road, I'm gonna walk right down the middle of the road.
Okay.
Towards, still heading west, but trying to put some distance between me and whatever this is.
The footsteps are getting louder. It sounds like it's moving faster.
And I still can't see anything.
Turn around and you don't see anything. No.
All right, that's it. I'm turning around, I'm stopping. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know what you are, what game you're playing, but cut it out. This ain't funny.
You hear footsteps like something's moving to the right. Again, almost kind of circling you.
All right, I'm going to like wrap my fist up in the rucksack like a weapon, so that I can use it to swing at whatever's coming. And I'm getting like in a stance, and I'm going to keep trying to face I'll turn to face whatever's the noise is.
Okay. It sounds like something is starting to charge at you, but you can't see anything. But you hear the sound of footsteps. You don't see any movement, but you hear sound like something rushing towards you, and you feel something almost feels like hands, but not with fingers. Something like pushes against your chest and like shoves you back. Give me a. I want to see if you keep your balance. Right. And I'm sorry to do this. Athletics and dexterity.
Yes, and he's sorry because I have 3 dice to roll for that. Damn it, I get closed again. Strength and dexterity. I want the roll button to be on the right, not the left. I don't know why. It just aesthetically seems to be that's where it should be. Whew!
All right. One, you managed to kind of keep your balance. Your hand kind of hits the ground. And then it sounds like you hear something like it's kind of circling to the other side of you. You hear this. It's pissing you off, though.
Yes, it is.
Fear is starting to turn into anger. And something leads to the dark side, I know. So
yeah, here's my thought. Yeah, because this is definitely taking me to the dark side because I want to do the same thing. I'm going to keep, turning and facing it. And if it rushes at me again, then I'm going to scream and rush towards it.
Okay. Yeah.
And, throw my shoulder down and do my best. I mean, I played a little bit of football as a kid, but I was more basketball. So
okay. Yeah. You hear something. Yeah. You sound like that same sound, like charging at you.
Yeah, so as soon as it charges, I charge. Just throw my shoulder in and kind of cover my head because I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna go brawl and strength.
Oh boy! Got 4 dice for that.
2 successes. You feel like you hit something, and what's funny is when you hit it, you've bumped into a tree before. You know what bark feels like. But as your shoulder hits something, you would swear you ran into a tree.
Jesus.
And you kind of stagger back a little bit. And that's when you start to feel an anger rising inside you. That something is messing with you. Yeah. Playing tricks with you. But you know how to play tricks of your own. That's right. You're a smart kid. And that's when the pain begins. And you feel this. Thanks, Sis. You feel yourself just like this wave of anger coming over you. And that's when you start to get these enormous pains in your hands and your face, your knees. These aren't growing pains. Well, in a way, they're growing pains. Yeah. Spoiler. Spoiler, folks. And that is when he starts to turn into something he doesn't recognize. And we've all seen the werewolf movies with the transformations. That's what happens. Yeah. And within a minute or two, Skids is something else. Now, give us a description of what he would look like in what we call his Krenos form.
Krenos. That's the one that's...
Yeah. That's the half man, half wolf. Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
The middle one. What is his Krenos? Okay, so he is going to be sort of ginger and brown brindled color, curly fur, just like his hair. He's got his hair is long and curly, not the super tight curls that you normally would expect, but so a little bit opener, and it's the same sort of thing. Mostly all of this it's got a sort of a mane of curls that flow back onto its back, and and sort of a ginger and brown brindle, and lanky, just like
well, and he does not know this term yet, but for his tribe, they typically look like jackals. Is kind of a long and thin, almost, if you remember, do you remember, you've seen the Mummy movies?
Oh yeah.
The second one, where there was Anubis, all those werewolves basically. Yeah. That's kind of what his form looks like, and we can say he has kind of the mane and all that, but kind of really tall and thin, like a jackal.
Yep, tall, thin, jackal-headed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Now go ahead on your character sheet and click on the shape change icon, and then you want to choose Krenos. Exactly. Yep. and go ahead and click to shape change.
Which one?
It's over on the right. It's like has the wolf on it.
The howling
roll
wolf?
for shape change. Yeah, the one that's like howling.
Okay. I have to input the difficulty, so 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, 4 successes. So now your stats are going to reflect all of that. Okay, so now you are seeing the world through different eyes, and you're peering into the dark, and now you see something in front of you. There is a creature is about the best way you can describe it. And while it might look like Groot, a similar tree-looking structure, it definitely doesn't have a smiley face like maybe Groot.
Okay.
And this thing has more thicker arms, but it is some kind of creature now, some kind of woodland creature that you couldn't see before, but now you can see it, and it's still kind of circling around you like it's
okay.
But now seems less willing to come charging at you now that you've become something else.
I'll try to speak, pick on somebody your own size, but I don't know how that works.
And when you speak, it comes out like you're like, I know I spoke, but what the hell did I just say? You're like, what did I say? And it kind of goes like, it almost has like a high pitched voice that you're really not sure what it's saying. So it's like the two of you are talking, but nobody's communicating.
Nobody can understand each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll try again more slowly.
Okay.
Pick on somebody your own size.
And it kind of waves a finger at you and kind of goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I'll swat at his hand.
And it's like, and it kind of like swats at your hand, and it's.
See if I can get you patty.
Yeah. But it kind of, now you kind of see it like gesture more towards the road, like. Yeah.
It's what I was trying to do.
and he goes.
Right. So I'll pick up my bag.
Mm-hmm. And remember, now you're stomping
right,
over
stomp
there.
Off towards the road.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll stop and I'll like shrug, like.
And it just kind of like gestures for you to like keep walking, buddy.
Fine. I'll flip it off and I'll turn and walk. I'll go to the other side of the road, just to, yeah, to make a point.
Yeah. And you get over to the other side of the road, and that is when you really, now it's starting to sink in that you're like, is this a dream? Was I dreaming that I just, I just talked to a tree and turned into a wolf?
Yeah. So I'll probably have to end up stopping, mid-stride and just be like, wait.
Yeah. You look down, you've got these long claws. Your knees are kind of bending a direction. Right. Your lower legs are kind of in a different direction.
Oh crap! Where are my clothes?
Yeah. You maybe have some tattered bits of cloth hanging onto you.
Crap! I didn't have a chain. Well, yeah, maybe I can. No, that was my only jacket. Son of a bitch! I'm getting pissed again. I don't know what that stupid tree thing did to me.
And you think you hear a car coming.
All right, then I got to get off the road.
Okay.
So I will beeline towards the tree line.
Okay, and you're kind of trying to hide behind a tree. Right. And as you watch, you see a cop car coming by, and You're not sure if it's the same Officer Kowalski you talked to before, but yeah, a cop car is coming along the road.
All right. Well, I'll try to hide.
Okay. I am going to. You're hard to miss, unfortunately.
Right? I'm still not used to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, like trying to do that thing where you just stand skinny and try to get behind the tree.
Yeah.
It's a little sapling.
So I'm gonna just roll something.
What's the number on the car? Does it match the Kowalski? He's probably at home in bed by now.
He is not, actually. And now, if you want to truly try to hide, you could try to make a. Oh boy, where are we at? I would say maybe wits and stealth. Yeah, go with wits and stealth, but it's going to be at a difficulty 8.
Okay.
Because you are big, and the trees are not big. Yeah.
Oh shit! That's my first one. Still 3 successes.
Okay, yeah. I will say ties go to the defender. So yeah, you managed to just kind of hide behind this tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. You do that real skinny.
Grant,
Yeah, exactly. But the car keeps going past. So
I've had to do this before. So usually not naked, but there was that one time.
Yeah. And you hear something again up above you.
All right, kind of lean back and look up.
That owl is back.
Oh. Ooh.
And you're like, and it actually does kind of hoot back. But you get the feeling now, looking at this owl, that there's some kind of connection to what's happened to you and this owl. I mean, like, you're like, okay, owl I've never seen before. This is only the second time I've seen him, but somehow we're bonding.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not sure.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I bonded with a squirrel that.
It's true.
I'm already thinking I'm half crazy. So. Hey,
and you actually,
Mr. Owl, do you know what that weird tree thing was that turned me into this?
It kind of hoots. You don't quite think you understand it, but you get the feeling like it lives here. Like it's you're just like almost the owl almost seems to calm you down a little bit.
Okay, I didn't actually expect you to answer.
But it was more in the way it hooted.
Right.
You just get this feeling like, okay, this is all normal. You're like, this is normal, but
this is not normal.
But and you start to relax, and within about 2 minutes, you've shrunk back down to your normal size. But yeah, you are now naked, standing here in the woods.
Great.
Now and it's cold, and it's starting to drizzle again.
Oh, fuck. And there's nothing around.
You would probably have to walk back
to Dustin's Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my only thought. I'm gonna head back towards I'm gonna stay in the tree line.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How dark? Well, it's just drizzling, so it's actually probably pretty dark outside.
Yeah. I mean, there's no street lights. There's nothing. I mean, it's.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna head back toward Dustin's and see if I can't.
Okay.
Like bust in and find like a clothes or something. I mean, they didn't have a uniform or anything, but maybe Ruby's got some spare clothes or something. Hell, I'll wear a skirt if I have to.
When you get back to Dustin's, you see there are just a couple cars left in the lot. One of them's kind of an old Chevy truck, small car, and Are you going to try to go around the back? You're going to head towards the front? Like, what's your...
I'll go around the back and see if I can
Okay.
see what's going on.
Okay. You hear somebody open up like the back door, probably by where the dumpster is. So somebody's whistling something. Somebody throw a bag into the trash. And he it sounds like a man's voice. You hear something like, "All right, good night, Jethro. You get yourself home safe." And you hear somebody's voice be like, "Fuck you," like more like in a playful way.
Right.
And the door closes, and you hear sounds coming from up front. Sounds like somebody's leaving up front.
Okay. I'm going to try to scoot around to the front and see if that's Jethro heading out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Jethro,
yeah.
Mr. Jethro.
Yeah, he's you see him come out, and he's kind of walking. He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, kid, what are you going on? I thought you'd be miles away from here now."
Well, I tried. I went and set up a little, lean-to out in the woods, and I was sleeping, and then something attacked me,
and he starts to walk over, and he's kind of got a look like you kind of see on his hip, he's got a knife, so he's kind of got his hand towards. Right. He's listening to you,
and I've just got my rucksack down, in front of my groin,
and he's like, "Boy, you are buck naked."
Yeah, no, I was hoping you might like have a blanket in your car or something.
And he's like, I'll pull the truck around. And gets in his truck, pulls around, pops the door, and he's like, get in.
And I kind of shrink back a little bit, like, and then decide and jump in, close the door.
Okay. And he's like looking around, and like he's got a back seat, and he's like, I know I got something back here. Brings out a dirty, sweaty work shirt, but like hands it to you, and he's like, so you were what, camping?
I was camping, yeah. I don't know. I fell asleep. I must have been dreaming. And I guess in the dream, I thought I was being attacked by some invisible tree creature. I mean, I didn't know it was a tree creature at first, but eventually, like, it like turned me into some sort of wolf or something in the dream, and then I could see it, and then it stopped attacking me and told me to go away and shoot me off towards the road, and that's how I went. I don't know. Eventually, I woke up, I guess, and I was naked, and the only thing I could think to do was come back to Dustin's and see if I could, I don't know, steal some clothes or something.
You weren't eating any mushrooms out there, were you?
No, I didn't. I had a good meal, so I didn't eat anything.
He's like, and you said you thought you turned into a wolf?
Yeah, but I mean, it was just a dream. I have weird dreams all the time.
And he kind of takes off and start to pull out of the lot. And he's like, "Where are you from, boy?"
Oh, Rhode Island originally.
Rhode Island? What are you doing all the way over here?
Yeah, just felt like I needed to get out. Started walking.
He's like, and I did some traveling back in the day, but farthest I got was Plano, Texas.
Oh, I've never been there. Was it nice?
He's like, it's all right. Yeah. He's like, it was the 80s, so
everything was better in the 80s.
I don't know about that, but he's like, you got any family you can call?
No, man, I'm an orphan. I've been in and out of the foster system most of my life.
So you don't have any kin that you know of?
Nothing I know of, no. I mean, I'm sure somewhere. I just never met any of them.
You
My
say
parents weren't originally from Rhode Island, so. Yeah.
Okay. He's like, I mean, there's shelters in some of the big cities that you can go to, but I've heard stories about strange stuff happening out here. Like we told you about the Bigfoot. The people swear they seen Bigfoots out here. Big feet, I guess that would be.
Officer Kowalski, I think his name was, stopped me actually before I was heading off in the woods and warned me about people going missing around here, especially kids.
And he said, "You talked to Kowalski?"
Yeah.
And he knows you're out here?
He does.
Jams on the brakes. He's like, sorry kid, you gotta get out.
Just because I met Kowalski?
I don't want to. Anybody? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't.
With him, he seemed like an okay fella. I mean, for a cop. And I'll open the door. Don't want to refusing to leave.
Yeah, and as you start to like open up the door, you see like bright headlights come up from behind you, and then you kind of glancing back, you see what looks like a vehicle approaching, and Jethro's like, "All right, shit, get in, come on."
All right, cool. I'll get in the door. I'll look down. I'm gonna get down like on the floorboard.
All right. Yeah, and he starts pulling up, and that's when his sirens, lights come on.
Oh, shit, I can't hide on the fucking truck.
And he's like, shit. And Jethro's like, oh, all right. And you see him, he's kind of putting his hand on his knife as Kowalski gets out of the car and starts walking up.
Oh, it's just Kowalski. Should be all right.
Shh. Shut up.
Okay.
And you hear the tap on the glass. He says, Kowalski says, Benjamin. He's like, I know everybody calls you Jethro, but your real name's Benjamin. Jethro's like, yeah. He's like, you been drinking tonight? He's like, I drink every night. You know that. He's like, well, tonight's not the night for you to be out drinking and driving. He's like, I drink and drive every night. You just don't catch me.
I want to reach over and smack his leg.
Jethro, yeah, he's Kowalski kind of leans his head, kind of tilts his head a little bit, and let's see. Wrong one. Intelligence. Let's see how he does here.
3 1s.
Oh.
Boss bot.
Yeah. Yeah, nada. Yeah. And he's kind of. It's like, well, can't let you get away with this all the time. Say, you ain't seen a kid out here by himself, have you? Jethro's like, he kind of turns like to almost try to kind of like hide.
Yeah, block.
He's like, yeah, and he's like, no, I ain't seen anybody. He's like, wait, there was a kid who was back at Dustin's a couple hours ago. He seemed all right. And Kowalski goes, oh, is he your type? And Jethro goes, I don't think that's very funny. Kowalski says, I don't know. What did they put you away for? And don't even think about putting a hand on that knife. Meanwhile, Skids, what are you doing besides listening and trying to get as small as possible?
Yeah, cowering on the floorboard there with the jacket over me, trying not to look like anything other than a pile of crap under a tarp. Yeah, I'm just trying to be as small and quiet as possible.
And Benjamin, you're not supposed to be near kids. Isn't that part of your parole?
Shit.
Jethro's, I don't got any kids. I don't do stuff like that. They put me away. That wasn't true. Well, Benjamin, if you do come across any kids out here, maybe send them back towards Dustin's. Because we would want to make sure they are taken care of safe and not ended up with the wrong kind of people. He's like, Benjamin, I don't smell any alcohol on you. But I'd swear you were drinking, but how about I give you a pass this time? Just as you don't come this way anymore. Because the next time I might not be so lenient. Jethro just kind of grits his teeth. He's like, fuck you, Kowalski. Can I go? He's like, by all means. You have yourself a good night. Kowalski starts walking away. Jethro just waits and waits and waits for the squad car to eventually pull away and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Jethro looks down at you.
See, this is why I don't trust cops. He seemed like a nice guy when he talked to me earlier. Boy, man, he was just like oozing dick vibes just now.
And he just kind of seems like he's contemplating something. And he's like, you need to get out.
Yeah, you think he's going to...
Go on, get out. Go on, get out.
Thanks, Jethro.
And he, as soon as you get, he
slip out.
He slams, he roars away.
And I'll pat the back of the truck as he goes.
Yep.
Friendly double pat.
And you are left standing with just a shirt,
a green shirt, and which isn't going to come down to my waist.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, to pull it up and tie it around my waist at least.
Okay.
So that I can't at least be pulled over for indecent exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled over. Yeah, right. I wish I had a car I could drive away in. How far did we get down the road before?
Probably only a quarter mile. You didn't get very far. Yeah. So Dustin's will be back.
All right. Well, I guess head back to the tree line and try to stay out of sight, and then head away from Dustin's roadhouse and see if we can't find some sort of residential area or somebody's house or something scattered in the this rural Oklahoman countryside, and
you would think it's probably about 2 a.m. now.
Right. Lost my clothes. Lost my phone because I was in my clothes.
The sky is starting to clear. Rain has stopped, and there's a crescent moon, we'll say, up in the sky, and you hear hooting again.
No. Piss off, you! You haven't been any help.
And he kind of flies down and kind of just lands like right in front of you. And he's kind of
okay. Don't see that every day.
Yeah.
And I'll step to the side and try to walk around him.
And he flies back to the edge of the road, and stops on like a like a speed sign, like just stops on there. You almost get the feeling he wants you to follow him.
Fine. What else have I got to do? I'm already going crazy. I might as well follow an owl.
Okay. You hey, go over to, and then you see lights, a car approaching.
Oh crap! All right, I get like drop down and get. Is it close enough that I don't have time to like hit the woods or?
No, you won't have time, and you recognize it's Kowalski's car.
Oh, God, yeah. All right, so then I'm gonna like try to drop and hide in the ditch sort of thing, but
Okay.
He's probably already spotted me.
Yeah. You see he's kind of pulled over. The owl stays right where he is on the sign.
Okay.
And Kowalski gets out of his car and he's like, "I've been looking for you."
Oh, Officer Kowalski, is that you?
Yeah. And he's like, "What happened? You lost your clothes."
I honestly have no idea. I went and camped in the woods like we talked about. Must have fallen asleep, had some weird ass dream about tree monsters attacking me and turning into a wolf and running away. And anyway, when I woke up, I was naked. Managed to, had a shirt in my backpack, and that's about it.
He's kind of looking at the shirt you got on. He's like, "It's all big for you."
Hey, you take what you can get when you're on the road.
All right, he shrugs. And the owl actually hoots once or twice. Kowalski kind of looks up at it and he's like, "You met a friend."
I guess. I mean, it just sort of was hanging out. Kind of odd that it didn't fly off when I got close to it, but not the weirdest thing that's happened tonight. So,
yeah, you said you think you turned into a wolf?
Well, in a dream, yeah.
In a dream, you don't usually lose your clothes.
Well, I didn't really. Well, I guess I did lose my clothes in the dream. Now that I think about it, because if I turn into a wolf, still, I don't know. I must have been like dream stripping or something. Because I didn't wake up where I went to sleep.
And he says, "So where are you from, kid?"
Oh, back east.
That's right. You don't got any family you can call?
No. Man, I'm an orphan.
And he kind of turns off his walkie-talkie thing so like nobody can really kind of hear what he's saying. He's like, "This is all off the record. Have you had these kind of dreams before? Feelings like this?"
I mean, I've always had sort of weird dreams. I guess they've gotten weirder in my late teens, but it's just weird dreams. I think this is the first time I ever turned into a wolf in my dream, though.
And the owl is staying there. I mean, normally you would think with people nearby, it would fly away.
Right.
It is just hung in there like it's.
Must be somebody's pet. Got out.
He's like, "No."
Anybody report a missing owl?
Like, "I don't reckon that's a pet. I think that's a spirit."
What?
Spirit.
What?
A guardian, a creature to watch over.
Yeah, no, man, I understood what you said. I'm just like surprised that you said it.
Thank you, Lemmy. He says, "I've come across other kids in the past. Kids running from things that, every kid's got troubles. Things bother them. But when you talk about thinking you lost your clothes, you maybe turned into a wolf or something. Did he mention the tree thing?
What did I said? I abbreviated it and I said attacked by some sort of tree monster or
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Okay. He's like, there's a lot of stuff out here. So that when I was telling you that to keep an eye out, that there's kind of creatures that not everybody can see them, but they're there. It takes a special kind of person to be able to kind of see the invisible. So he pulls out a pamphlet that says, "So you might be Garou." No, no. Yeah. He is gonna. He's like, let's get you some clothes. He's like, I'm not arresting you. And again, this is off the record, but I think you might have another family that, well, you've never met before.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know I got a lot of people back in Africa that I haven't met.
That you might be connected to. That I think there's people we can get you to who might be able to answer these questions for you.
Okay, you kind of freaking me out a little bit here. I mean, you seem all nice and everything, but all right, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna go with you.
I told you I'd keep an eye on you, and I told you to watch out for people, especially Benjamin.
Benjamin?
They call him Jethro.
Yeah, the old guy from the Roadhouse.
He did 15 years for let's just say endangering a young man. He's not a good guy. Right. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but it's my responsibility to watch out for the people who come through this county.
Well,
especially the young and, well, son, slightly naive. I think if something had happened, I don't want to think what might have happened, but maybe what you went through earlier might have happened in a different way when it wouldn't have been good for good old Jethro, let me put it that way.
I'm starting to think that you maybe think that I wasn't dreaming.
I don't think you were. Again, there's a
yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think I was either.
There's a family that you belong to, and we're going to find out what that family is. It's like I belong to a family as well. Their name's the Shadow Lords, and I'm kin to them.
You're like some kind of gang?
Kinda. More like a tribe.
Yeah, that's what gang members say.
Tell you what, son. Let's get you some new clothes, and I'm gonna get you to a shelter, and then I got folks that we can put you in touch with.
All right.
So, what we're gonna kind of go through a montage here of he's gonna take Skids in the morning, because it is gonna take all night, to a youth shelter in a nearby town. Then he is visited by some folks that he doesn't recognize. One is kind of a rather unfriendly seeming woman, and a kind of an older man. that's where they go through the again. So you might be a Geru.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of explain to him what they think his heritage is. That he is connected to a family of wolves, maybe a particular tribe. They don't know what particular tribe. He's probably going to go through denial, all the stages of
Yeah.
grieving and all that.
There will be anger. There will be some denial.
Exactly. We're not gonna role play all that out tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is eventually going to find out what he is. They will tell him, hey, based on the phase of the moon you were born under, is kind of what they say what Gaia blessed you with. So he starts to learn a whole nother, language. He's like, wait, I was down with the whole, Jesus thing. Now you're saying there's an Earth Mother, and so it takes him a while to start to even understand some of the slang they are
right. But he's a bit of a nerd, so he's gonna get into it.
Yeah. And eventually they are going to tell him that there is a pack, that Geru group themselves in what they call packs, across the country in the city of Seattle, who he may be able to join. That they're a relatively young pack themselves, and with help from this couple, they help him get to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Where a young Skids is going to show up, and is then going to try to find this pack he's been told about. So,
okay.
And that is where we're going to introduce Skids to the Pathfinders in our regular controlled burn game. So, I hate to kind of mush it down into here's what happens, but we can't spend.
Yeah. This is what happens when you try to shoehorn someone into an existing campaign.
Exactly. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this wasn't too confusing.
No, that was awesome.
Okay, good.
I did not expect the invisible tree spirit or anything, ghost or whatnot. The whole creepy. I didn't know what to expect, coming into this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that was completely unexpected. So it was just like, what is going on?
I need things to kind of throw you off balance. So.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, welcome to the pack. At a later time, I will explain to you what exactly you were seeing. Basically, there's 3 forces of what they call the triad. There's the worm, the weaver, and the wild.
Yeah.
This tree was what's called a wild spirit. The wild is the force of creation, and in our, we call it the both reverse. The wild has become the ascendant power. This thing really was pretty harmless. If you had been super aggressive towards any of the animals in the mm-hmm. forest, had really broken any crimes, this thing was known to kill people. This is
that's why I just shoot them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once you could see it, then it was like, oh, I'm dealing with something else, and that's why I was just like, well, go. But before that, it was hunting you. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Okay, creatures of the wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is a whole cosmology that you do not have to learn, obviously.
No, I did read through the early part of the book, but eventually it was like, I need to get to the character creation stuff. So it was like skim, and then there were definitely things that I'm like, I can come back and look at this again because it's a really cool setting.
Yeah. Oh, good. And the good thing is coming in as a new player works well as a new character too. So, because sometimes it's harder when you're like, the player knows all this, but then acting like you don't know anything. It actually kind of
Right.
works good because you don't know anything and the characters.
Right? You don't know who to trust. That was great too, with playing Kowalski and Jethro off each other, both trying to help in their own way and not knowing who to trust. Clever.
Yep. Thank you.
It's like you've done this before.
It's almost like I've done this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so what we'll do, folks, is we are going to be back with Controlled Burn next Thursday night. We're going to do the second half of season 4, and that's when we get the whole gang back together. And we will be introducing Skids and Eric at some point, kind of bringing them into the continuing story. So it's going to be a lot. We're going to have 5 players and me, so it'll be a lot of fun though. So let's go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Tomorrow night we have River City Runs Red, our vampire game, is continuing on Friday nights. That's run by Aloysius, and otherwise we will see you here back next Thursday night for Controlled Burn. So thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate your support, and give this video a like if you don't mind, and help us out. So we will go ahead and wrap up for tonight. So good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Okay.